everyone. So this is kind of awkward, but I wanted to post this anyway. The following is the raw footage that I recorded the night of watching the Snyder Cut for the first time, and at this point I still had thought that I was going to be able to like put together my entire custom Lego showcase like within a day or two after it came out, and then some other stuff happened and didn't quite work out that way, and that's why I didn't post this footage. And then it's just been non-stop work on that video for the main channel ever since, and really getting any time to MGF Extra just has not been on the table, and that's why there hasn't been any content on here. That being said, before I get back to the weekly vlog, which I am working on now, putting together all the clips that I did record during this time, I wanted to still get this footage out. So this is my raw reaction, moments after finishing watching Zack Snyder's Justice League for the first time, and then I think like 5 days later, when the Variety article came out with WarnerMedia CEO Ann Sarnoff, who basically shot down any hopes of the Snyderverse continuing in a, like, I guess, pre-made article. So Variety just had this article like ready to go like on that following Monday after the Snyder Cut released. So yeah, I just wanted to include a little bit of context before I played this, and yeah, I appreciate you watching. If for whatever reason you do watch all of this. All right, here we go. I haven't worn this shirt in, I think, 5 years now. This is the shirt that I wore to the premiere of Batman vs. Superman with my friends Joe and Nick when we were out in Kansas City seeing the film together. Batman vs. Superman still, despite its problems, remains one of my favorite movies of all time. But what I will say is that I have turned out to be one of the last human beings on Earth to watch Zack Snyder's Justice League, the true version of Justice League that we were all promised, that was always intended before Warner Brothers took advantage of a tragedy to surgically mutilate and completely destroy the world's greatest superheroes coming together live action for the first time, and spit out that crap that we saw called Justice League. But now, here we are with the true version of the film. And I've got my Justice League minifigures there, the showcase that I've been working on tirelessly for the past 3 weeks since I announced I wanted to do figures to celebrate this release. And now it's time to finally take 4 hours to not prioritize my custom minifigures and my work, to actually watch the Snyder Cut after over 3 years of waiting and hoping. It's finally here, and yeah, all right, well, here we go. Well, I just finished Zack Snyder's Justice League, the 4-hour-long Snyder Cut. That was so much to take in. I don't think there's any one way or any set of ways that one can like really describe the experience of the entire 4 hours. This was just so unbelievable and so incredible. I could not believe the whole time this is what Zack Snyder was sitting on. It blows me away that at the time, from the critics' responses to Batman vs. Superman in 2016, and then subsequently the box office dropping as a result, that they would do something so horribly rash, completely cancel all of this, upend the entire plan, destroy this movie, but that they can somehow still not consider this the future of DC films, and how they so spectacularly let all of this fall apart. Don't get me wrong. I am just so grateful to have this. A lot of people say that it went by very fast, but for me, this was just like an unending experience, and not in a bad way. I just genuinely could not believe how much of this movie there is. I mean, you are taken into the DCEU for 4 hours with the Justice League and just taking on the most incredible ride. I don't really know what to say. I mean, going into specifics, I feel like is really futile because, like I said, it's 4 hours long and it's something that you have to watch for yourself, and no spoilers. But of course, the big takeaways are just how unbelievable every shot is. I absolutely love his visual style personally. I think it's brilliant and fundamental to capturing the very best of each of these characters. And I really thought that the cliffhanger would sting more by the end of this when I was about halfway through. Halfway through, I was seeing the DCEU unfold in every way that I had dreamed it would back in 2014 when all of this was announced. And, and even in 2016 when I wore this shirt to the release of Batman vs. Superman in Kansas City with some friends. But to get this far and to get to the end, I did feel satisfied. He pulled out all the stops. Everything you could have hoped for was there for an ending. Yes, there is a major cliffhanger for the invasion of Apocalypse and Darkseid coming to Earth that will never happen. But everything else that they did that Zack has to offer in the epilogue is really satisfying. And so if this is the end and Warner Brothers can't get over themselves, Ray Fisher never comes back, Ben Affleck never comes back, Henry Cavill never comes back, if DC really continues down this road of full abandonment of the DCEU and just into separate solo movies pretending like everything is fine, I understand wanting to have just good movies versus a cinematic universe, and believe me, so do I, but I think the invasion of Darkseid and the Justice League and the forces of Earth coming together to stop him is the best movie that you could ask for. And to know that we may never get it is really upsetting. But also, I'm just so happy that we have this. I can't wait to watch it again. There's so much to absorb, so much to take in. And of course, if you've seen it, there are inconsistencies throughout Zack Snyder's Justice League that really disconnect it from the existing DCEU as we now know it. But what an experience. It really is more of an experience. It's less of a movie and it is more of an experience. Because there are so many scenes in here that are just... I cannot believe what was done to Justice League in 2017. What was done to Ray Fisher's Cyborg and Ezra Miller's Flash. Those two and their characters were just destroyed in the original, on the version of this movie that dare not be spoken of anymore. And again, as a believer in the DCEU since its inception with Man of Steel, and someone who actually really did become incredibly invested in all of this. The link, if you'd like to donate to AFSP or suicide prevention, will be down in the description below, because that's ultimately what matters here at the end of the day. Is not only did this create a movement behind the Snyder Cut movement to make this happen, but all the funds that were raised for AFSP in the name of Zack Snyder's daughter, Autumn, 500, probably going on 600 grand at this point, literally saving lives, generating the resources to do so is no small feat to be scoffed at. And that wouldn't have been possible, and Zack Snyder's Justice League would not have been possible without everyone. And I truly hope that we can all do it again with hashtag restore the Snyderverse, because I have yet to check social media, because I've been off social media for the last 2 days since I was so late to watching this and also Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But I hope that the movement for restoring the Snyderverse is brewing, so that maybe Warner Brothers once again can get over themselves and put together an agreement that can make all of this happen, especially now with the AT&T merger and things haven't been shaken up. I think this was unbelievable. If you have not seen Zack Snyder's Justice League, even if you watch it in parts, I know I paused a ton of times getting up and going to the bathroom, and it had no effect on the experience. And so, I mean, you can watch this in sections and what have you, but just enjoy it, because these are the greatest superheroes of our time: Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, Aquaman, all coming together live action for the first time, and it's phenomenal. So enjoy what remains of the original DCEU now, and I'm gonna get back to work on my figures. Still got Batman's legs to paint up, and Wonder Woman's back to finish up as well. This is the BVS one, but yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to record my raw thoughts on what I consider to be the end of the DCEU, because at this point for me, everything else is just a multiverse post-credit scene. So thank you all for hanging out with me as I rambled and ranted, but watch Zack Snyder's Justice League and let me know what you thought of it down in the comments if you watched it. All right, well, I honestly don't remember a lot of what I said in that clip that you just saw. My initial thoughts after watching Zack Snyder's Justice League for the first time on like Saturday night. But now it is Monday, so my second week in a row without a weekly vlog going up, because I'm working on wrapping up Batman today and then finally shooting the showcase at the time of filming this next bit. However, I am still glad that I'm getting this video out to you guys, just like those initial raw thoughts on seeing Zack Snyder's Justice League, at 1 a.m. when I recorded that. But now today, at the end of all of it, like 4 or 5 days after Zack Snyder's Justice League started streaming, unfortunately, we had a pretty awful article come out on Variety from Warner Brothers, chairman of entertainment, I believe is her title, and she basically runs things at Warner Brothers Entertainment. And she has for the last couple of years, I think. And she basically confirmed in the article all of our worst fears, said the opposite of what everyone wanted to hear, in that the Snyderverse will not continue, not even for just one more Justice League film or Justice League 3. There will be no true closure beyond the Snyder Cut, despite its massive success on HBO Max and its success in winning over general audiences now, and its critical success. I heard somewhere that it's like the second most highly rated DC film since The Dark Knight. I'm not sure if that's true or correct, but if so, that's crazy. And they are choosing to ignore all of it, not acknowledge any of it, not acknowledge its success in finally winning over general audiences to the DCEU. And instead, she continued to peddle this multiverse, multi-dimensional narrative that DC Films is going to continue following, with more and more disconnected films with only loose connections, such as Wonder Woman 3, Aquaman 2, a Shazam follow-up, Blue Beetle, and so on and so forth, the Batman. And while that's all great, and I want to just have good movies too, it's kind of incredibly contradictory to hide behind this whole new multiverse initiative, this multi-dimensional initiative, as she calls it, and then to just say that, oh, well, yeah, it's multiverse, but, basically, Zack Snyder is not going to fit into that multiverse, even though a multiverse literally is designed to accommodate multiple different iterations and versions of characters and timelines and stories. That's literally the purpose of a multiverse, but it doesn't accommodate Zack Snyder or this story that he started with Man of Steel. And listen, I understand a lot of people don't care about this stuff as much as I do. I understand a lot of people are not invested in the DCEU and haven't been because Man of Steel didn't work for them, BVS didn't work for them, Suicide Squad certainly didn't, and then they saw the Whedon, cut of Justice League and just laughed at it like the rest of us did because it was a total disaster. And I understand, but a lot of us have been invested and did understand the potential of this universe and these movies, but unfortunately, you have these horrible executives at Warner Brothers, like Ann Sarnoff, like Walter Hamada, and they just have to stick to their egos, their very stubborn egos. They have to continue to be arrogant. They cannot be humble. It is not possible. And instead, they continue to peddle this narrative of valuing new filmmakers, of valuing new takes on characters, meanwhile discriminating against others, discriminating against Zack Snyder fans and all of those it won over. And I understand a lot of people also say, well, you guys won, you got the Snyder Cut, and of course we all appreciate Zack Snyder's Justice League and the fact that it did get made and they did shell out the $70 million to have that happen, and it's been great. And I really appreciate just having that 4 hours in the DCEU just as closure on what Zack Snyder was doing, and it's great. But unfortunately, the movie, of course, sets up the future with Darkseid's invasion, the corruption of Superman. Darkseid is very present in the movie, especially at the end. Zack Snyder was going to do Darkseid's successful takeover of Earth, and eventually, after the Flash travels through time to undo it, the big battle, the big clash on Earth against Darkseid with the armies of Themyscira and Atlantis and the Green Lantern Corps and any other number of alien armies that came down to Earth in support to fight against the forces of Apocalypse. That was going to be the true ending of Zack Snyder's films, and I personally think that a lot of that can still be stuffed into just like 1 3-hour final movie. You don't necessarily need Justice League 2 or 3. I think it's possible to stuff it into one movie, have one half be in the nightmare world and the second half be the final battle against Darkseid. So we'll see if it does wind up happening at some point in the future, but the current executives are just too egotistical, they're too stubborn, and it's just really a shame to also see them continue to call Ray Fisher a liar when his claims are supported by Jason Momoa, who plays Aquaman, and said that he also stands with Ray Fisher. And Gal Gadot actually also reported Joss Whedon's behavior, allegedly Joss Whedon's behavior, but certainly, the misconduct on the set of the Justice League 2017 reshoots. And to just continue to call Ray Fisher a liar, basically, and imply that he's a liar, and I think that's really a shame. When you have two of the other stars who are still now the DC Films leading stars in Gal Gadot and in Jason Momoa. I mean, it's really her and Jason Momoa, and I guess now Robert Pattinson, that are in many ways holding up DC Films, and you're kind of also disregarding them as well. And I'm really passionate about this because, again, I've been invested in the DCEU since I was younger, in 2013 when Man of Steel first launched, and I was blown away by it. And, I've always loved Zack Snyder's style, his realistic approach to these characters, his highly realistic approach to these characters, and, his take on what it would be like if these Olympian god figures were actually realized from the DC universe in today's modern world. But these corporate execs, they can't get over themselves. No matter how successful the Snyder Cut is, it very well may be the end of the DCEU, and that sucks. That being said, the Snyder Cut was never really supposed to happen either, and it was also never possible, and then it was. So, we'll see. But that Variety article was just so disgusting and so gross. These people, they are so corrupt. They are the antithesis of people like Kathleen Kennedy or Kevin Feige, people who really do care. And there is a good chance that that was the end of the DCEU. And, you know, I think I'm done talking about it at this point. I was so excited offering my raw thoughts on Zack Snyder's Justice League, as you saw moments ago, only for it to sort of be crushed now on the weekend after. So I think on that note, guys, I will catch you guys pretty soon here. Weekly vlogs and everything are going to start picking up again. I have no idea when I posted this, but I've still been recording things anyway, even though I've been so busy with the figures. And I also am finally about to wrap up all of my Zack Snyder's Justice League Showcase figures. Regardless, Batman is pretty much the last bit of work, just painting his legs today. I finished Wonder Woman finally yesterday after a bit of a setback with her. And yeah, so that's going to do it, and I'll catch you guys next time. Let me know what you thought down in the comments. And I think a lot of people are going to be more open to this discussion and more open to this craziness from Warner Brothers after now seeing the Snyder Cut and actually being on board. And now a lot more people do care and are open to understanding how corrupt all of this really is. It's really sad. But anyway, I will see you guys next time. So take care, stay safe out there, and restore the Snyderverse. Bye.